is Kelsie Stone. I'm currently employed as the Marketing Communications Specialist for Club Essential Holdings. I write content. So I write white pages, customer success stories, case studies, long-term email campaigns, website content, really anything that positions our brand to our customers, to our audiences. I write.
So what does like a typical day at work look like for you?
Yeah, well, meetings. So there's always meetings. Generally my team, the golf vertical, will have one meeting on Mondays with the entire marketing department across the holdco. And then on Wednesdays and Fridays, we have a quick touch base just with our golf team. So those are standing meetings. So I always have meetings Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then there are other meetings throughout the week, just depending on what projects we're working on. I may be meeting with SMEs, which is SME, subject matter experts, on various products or features or offerings that some of the companies have, if we're doing a specific highlight or campaign or feature on things that I may need more specifics about. So those meetings are just peppered in depending on campaigns and need. And as I become more of a SME myself, sometimes I don't need that detail from people. Also, I've worked at the company for a little over a year now, so I need less detail from people than I used to, for sure, as you get to know brand and everything. So meetings, and then beyond that, there's a lot of writing. So I write, just depending on the campaign, I could write anywhere from 3 pieces of content to 10 pieces of content a day. It just depends on what's going on.
Yeah, well, that's really cool.
Yeah, well, I can give an example of what that content may be. So for instance, like today I needed to write like 3 or 4 emails for a campaign. A big part of my job is collaborating with the education team and helping them put out content to our current customers, to support them and help them understand the software, use the software to the best of their ability. So you can really break up a big part of my job into current customer support, cross-sell and upsell to, tell current customers, hey, we've got this other feature, this other software that we think would be really beneficial to your club or your course or your business, and kind of advertising and marketing those products and services and features to them. And then also acquisition of new logos, which is trying to bring in new clients. So there are lots of different facets there. And any given day, I may be working on 2 or 3 or 4 education projects, and then I may be working with sales to bring in new leads. It really just depends. And always doing social media marketing, which is not my favorite thing. I don't like social, but that is part of my job.
That's actually really cool. Is there like a range of salaries that is like general for your position?
I Googled that when I saw it on your question, because I was like, no, I don't really know. And it seems like anywhere from 50 to 65,000 is a normal range for this role in Georgia, where I am, at least, which in the age of remote work, that question gets really finicky, right? Because I live in Georgia, but my company is not based out of Georgia. So who's to say that my salary range should be based on Georgia? It's just kind of fun.
Yeah, well, that's pretty interesting. What do you think is like the best part of your job?
That I get to write.
That you get to write.
I still remember, well, I don't know, that there are a lot of really great parts of my job. I love my job. I have been a writer since I could speak and write on the walls. When I was a little kid, I would write on the walls, and my parents loved that. But I never dreamed that I would have a job where really my sole job is to write. And I remember when I first came on with Club Essential, and I would sit at my desk and write and drink tea, and I was like, I can't believe this is what I'm paid to do. Like, it felt so strange to be doing something I enjoyed so much that I would forget that I was being paid for it. Like, in my head, I'd be like, oh, I'm just enjoying this, and then I'd be like, wait a minute, I'm getting paid right now? Like, so weird. I couldn't get used to it for the longest time. I'd tell my managers, I'd be like, I can't believe this is my job. So I love that. I love writing, especially for the different brands, because I'm writing for 2.5 companies. They all have different voices that have been established in the markets that they're in. So you have to be cognizant of speaking to those different audiences in a very different way. You know, one brand may have a very formal, kind of buttoned up, like tone that's not as playful, and then the other brand may have a very informal, conversational, you know, punny, like tongue in cheek, depending on the project. And for me, that's fun. That's like kind of like putting together a puzzle, like trying to write just the perfect thing for that project and that brand and that voice, to what will resonate the most with the audience. So I would say I love that. Um, but also, big part of my job that I love is the fact that it's remote, fully
Mm.
remote.
Is there anything else you'd like to share or think is important about your job?
I don't know that I can be interviewed about being a writer for a career without talking about AI, about
Mm.
chat GPT, and the impact that that is inevitably going to have. And I can't speak for other industries or for education, even though I've had some very interesting conversations with friends of mine who are professors or teachers that um, are saying, you know, the introduction of chat GPT and AI to the world has made it almost impossible to prevent cheating in you know, essay writing and all of those things without just forcing students to write right in front of you. um, but the impact of that on, you know, I always joke and say that the reason I went into writing and public relations, which was my major, I majored in public relations and minored in Spanish from Kennesaw State University. I always joke that the reason I chose that as a career was because robots can never replace that job. And then ChatGPT showed up, and I was like, oh, maybe they can. Um, and I don't know how much you played around with it, but some of the capabilities are terrifying. You know,
Mm.
you ask for these writing prompts, and it spits out this stuff that just looks so human. Um, I can confidently say it's not there yet. You know, I can still write pieces, you know, leaps and bounds better than anything ChatGPT can come up with. But the fact that it can create content that even seems human or is cohesive, you know, you can tell it's something extremely specific and it can outline an email campaign. I think within reason, it can be used as a tool. And we just have to be very, very careful not to just accept the things that it says. It's a little scary to think what is possible with fully realized AI. So yeah, I guess I'm my comment on, is there anything else I'd like to add, would be, I think we need to be paying more attention to AI than we are, and with a proper and healthy wariness and respect.
It's a really good point. Well, thank you very much for doing this interview for me today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.